You know, we got an election coming up. Where are you? What's it like in your home state right now with all this happening?
You know, we're a commodity state. High dollar value affects us. But for the most part, people are pretty optimistic in North Dakota. When you look at what's happening in agriculture with markets, people are making money, and they're making money in the oil patch, and probably will make even more money after OPEC cuts production. And so overall, if you look at North Dakota's economy, other than the people who are working for a living, who are paying, 30, 40% more for a gallon of milk and 50% more for a loaf of bread, I think people are pretty optimistic. But overall, I think when you look, Joe, at whether these numbers, whether the economic well-being of this country will be the big voting issue, I think a lot of Democrats are banking that it won't. But I think that's a failed message. They better have an economic message for those swing voters, because Democratic voters might be voting on issues other than the economy. But if you want to win in these swing districts and in these swing states, you're going to have a message, and that message is going to have to be about middle-class relief over these year-over numbers on economic relief and housing costs.
Tomas, probably people think I'm crazy, but I was saying when we see strength in the economy, and it's something that we're looking at it askance right now because it's not the economy's not cooperating with the Fed in terms of slowing down. And we look at that and it's like, oh no, they got to go even further. I was trying to say that it's nice that we have this problem. It's a good problem to have. That in the entire globe, we're probably handling coming out of everything better than anyone else. We're used to it. We are one of the, in terms of GDP growth, we outperform Europe for the past 30 years. Is it good or bad that our economy is so resilient? Does it make the Fed go further, or does it at least leave us an economy when they're finished with the rate hikes?
Well, I think you got to separate how economists like me and you guys think about the economy versus Main Street. For the Main Street, your viewers essentially, they have experienced a dramatic reduction in the standard of living, particularly for old folks on Social Security, which now got indexed, obviously, but it wasn't before. So for them, it's been an 8.5% reduction in their standard of living. That's a really hard landing, and we keep talking about soft landing. So I think you got to separate, all this discussion about is there a recession, et cetera. Real income, which is really what matters to people. How far does their paycheck carry? And that has Biden administration essentially taking exactly the opposite to the Trump administration, and therefore delivering exactly the opposite results. We have decline in real income as opposed to increases in real income. We have energy prices going up as opposed to down. We have income inequality and wealth inequality increasing as opposed to decreasing under Trump. So you see, again, a difference, exact opposite in policy, exact opposite results.